done, we need to come up with some way to help us be able to get going, push us through this, and have successful days. Usually it involves the motivation of a paycheck or knowing we have the responsibilities that we must take care of, or else they're not going to get done. Welcome back to Defeating Weekly. I'm your host, Craig Olson. Thank you for checking out this week's episode. As always, check out Spotify, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok for your latest episodes of Defeating Weekly. Y'all, super excited. This is Super Bowl week. Niners go out there. Let's root for them. Hopefully, they do amazing. Should be a fun day. Hopefully, you get to spend time with some loved ones and friends, hanging out, eating lots of good food. And let's hope we don't see Taylor Swift too much. Just saying. This week, I'm super excited about the idea and concept for this week's episode because it really hit home for me this morning and just kind of how things have gone lately. And that's the idea of pumping yourself up. So these past couple of weeks, I found myself super exhausted to the point that I've been taking naps in the evenings, which is way different than what I normally do. However, when we become adults and start having our jobs and families, this exhaustion can no longer be an excuse to prevent us from getting up and putting our work gear on and getting after it. When we hit these times in our lives, when we are struggling to get things done, we need to come up with some way to help us be able to get going, push us through this, and have successful days. Usually it involves the motivation of a paycheck or knowing we have the responsibilities that we must take care of, or else they're not going to get done. We all have those. However, sometimes these motivations still are not enough to help us fully get invested in what we're doing. These are the times that we must have something in place to help us get motivated and get after it. We need to pump ourselves up. These types of things could be whatever works for you. I know for me, growing up and playing sports throughout high school and college, one of the common themes before each game is the idea of the music blaring through the speakers and psyching ourselves up. Typically, blaring music with upbeat beats and lyrics were used to help us get going. For me, I had my normal music I listened to day in and day out, but on game day, that moment when it's time to shine, I had my game day soundtrack that I listened to as it helped me get going and get my mind right. I still use this for myself today on the way to work. When I'm struggling with things or I'm just kind of exhausted, I will get that music going, the specific music that helps wake me up, especially when I haven't got up in the morning to work out because of a late night or sleepless nights because of dogs that don't want to be quiet. Shout out to you, Bentley. This morning was one of those days for me. I woke up, I was exhausted. We slept in because of the fact of a late night. And so I was really struggling, and I decided I better crank up my music that I am currently listening to that helps get me going. And that includes a song that I'm loving right now, Home Team by Lakeview. Amazing. It helped me get going. This song not only wakes me up, but it reminds me of some of my key values and also reminds me of how far I've came in my journey as an adult. So this week's action steps: number one, root for the Niners. Come up with something that you can use to help you on those days where things are just a bit sluggish. We all have them and it's okay, but most of us must push through them. So finding that motivator to pump yourself up is key. Second one, recognize quickly when you are having one of those days and immediately get that pump up of whatever you're doing going to get yourself ready to face the challenges of the day. This week's quote: you've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. That was by George Lorimer. Just that big piece of we have to go to bed each night and have whatever happened in the day fresh on our minds. We can look at it with, ooh, I accomplished a lot today, or I left something out there. Pump yourself up in the morning so that you can be lying in bed at the end of the day saying, I did what I had to do. I was successful. Lights out. Get ready for the next day. As always, I hope you guys took something from this, apply it to your lives. I hope you guys have a great day and defeat the week.